We were talking about putting in too many EC claims, but we do get like sometimes a student who comes back to us and never put in an EC claim, and when we ask them why, they say, "Oh, I thought I could actually get through it at the time." Yeah. Now this is the other, and I would always advise you, if you're in doubt, please put in an EC claim, or get some advice from your personal tutor or program leader, or from us.
Yes.
Rather than just stay silent, then do the assessment, and then you come back and say, "Oh no, I didn't put an EC claim at the time because I just thought I could get through with it, but in hindsight, I should have done it."
If in doubt, put a claim in, and whether you put 10 working days or you put 10 working days with impaired performance, by putting the EC claim in, that just may actually give you a bit of headspace to think, and you may in fact actually get your piece of work in 2 days after the deadline. But if you don't put your EC in and you miss the deadline, then you're a fail. So if in doubt, put an EC in. I've had students that have put EC claims in and have actually not provided the evidence at the time. And this is something that's quite regular. And that's something needs to be said too, that you can put your EC claim in without evidence. And I've come across this a lot, that there's Chinese whispers that go round, that you have to provide your evidence at the time that you submit your claim. You do not.
That's a really good point, Jillian.
Yeah, you can. You can submit your claim without your evidence, and then you'll get an automated reply telling you your EC has been submitted and that you need to provide your evidence within 10 working days. But if you wait to get your evidence, particularly at the moment, if you need GP evidence, you are not going to get it by the time you need to submit your work. So put it in, the EC, and then get in touch with the GP. If the claim is in, if the evidence is late, you don't meet the 10 working days. If you get in touch, I would say with most faculties, and certainly with our faculty, if you get in touch and actually say, right, I've been in touch with the doctor, they can't provide me the letter for the next 2.5 weeks, then you're going to exceed that 10 working days. That's fine. I then put a note in your claim for our faculty and actually say, waiting for evidence from GP. GP says will take 2.5 to 3 weeks. And then I ask the student to keep in touch with me so that we keep in touch, so we know what the situation is. I've had one where the doctor has been extending it and extended it, and in the end I gave up and I went to the program leader, so that the student could have the claim actually accepted. But yes, you can put it in without the evidence if you haven't got the evidence at the time. Yeah.
If the student's actually claim is rejected because of insufficient evidence,
yes,
does the actual email explain what is needed for for that claim to be accepted?
No, because the previous emails for my faculty tells you very clearly what it is that you need to provide. There is a generic email that pops up, but then when I get in contact with each student on the insufficient, when they're providing insufficient evidence, I quite clearly tell them what it is that they need to provide and why the evidence they've provided isn't sufficient. So when it comes to rejecting, if they have not uploaded the claim, it's rejected. It says further evidence was required of you and this has not been forthcoming, etc., etc. But it also, in my faculty, says to them, if you can provide your evidence before your PAB sits, then your claim will be discretionally reconsidered.
Right, okay.
So if it's been rejected, and then they can provide the evidence afterwards, and then it's our faculty's inbox, email address is in that email, and they're asked to submit their claim number, their full name, the evidence, and their student ID to that email address and send the evidence in. I then look at that evidence and I will upload it to the claim for them, and then the claim is looked at again